Okay, Wing Rider, told you I'd get back with you, so here I am on the 2008 KLR 650 with 2,150 miles on it. Sunday evening is supposed to rain tomorrow, so just getting a little bit of riding in advance. Stop up here and take a look at that front tire just for a second. I think it was just gravel I was on. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Just riding the country on a Sunday evening. There's a lot of overcast. There's definitely rain coming. I just feel like riding, so I'm just riding here. Out in the country. Like I was saying about a career, there's jobs and there's careers. Jobs are, there's nothing at the end of the rainbow. Careers, however, most definitely. I'm going to go this way instead of that way, because if you watch the first video, this is part 2. I like to just add them together, but YouTube did away with the editor part that combines videos, and I don't know how to do it now. I guess there's software you can do, or do it somewhere else and then upload it on YouTube. I don't know. I'm not that tech savvy. When I was growing up, it was a lot different. There were no cell phones, and let's get through this. There were no cell phones. Telephones, you put your finger in the little dial and turn it. We had 2 channels on the TV if we were lucky. Those days were way, way different. No video recorders or video stuff. Video recorders didn't come out till late, what was it, somewhere in the 70s. I was born in 62, so a little different. Where the hell am I at? You know, I'll figure it out in a minute. Keep going this way, I'll end up on the pavement. Highway or something. Anyway, trying to figure out how to make my videos a little less boring, but you got to do stuff. I mean, moto vlogs are one thing, but if you're not doing anything, that's why I like Jeremy Ride's channel so much. Him and those guys, man, they know how to make videos. They know how to have fun. But then again, like I was saying, we have a paved road up here. All that grain bin and stuff, my first cousin owns all that. Big farmers. But anyway, let me go to the left here. I wish there was more people my age that were retired that like to ride and do stuff like this. But there just isn't. Like, say if you have a, that house was just built. If you have a, like me, there's rare high-risk careers where you can retire a little earlier. My retirement, my pension is as good or better than most people in this county that work their asses off for a living. But I had to leave home for over 10 years and work in South Florida, which I hated. I like working there, but I hated living there. But anyway, that's old Chevrolet. But you know, finding stuff to do. Actually, I work out in the yard a lot on the farm. I like mowing and cutting and trimming and just that kind of stuff, burning little piles. And I love riding and all kind of stuff like that. But by yourself is just not as good as if you had somebody with you. What would be better though, I got a friend that, I was in the 82nd recruit class at Florida Highway Patrol Academy. I have a friend that came out of the 83rd, and he just retired not long ago, moved to Colorado. Now he's moving back, but he doesn't ride motorcycles. He hates them. Death machines, he calls them. I worked a fatal motorcycle crash with him a few years ago, and I think that kind of turned him off a little bit. Turns out the guy that was riding the bike borrowed it from somebody else, didn't have a clue how to ride it, run across the intersection into a tree, killed him. And I've been riding all my life, and my friend Stu had, but wouldn't it be wonderful though if he did and lived in the same area? So here you had two retired troopers terrorizing the county on their motorcycles and camping and just having a good time. Oh well. But others, you know, like I say, anybody, I need to find some guys that like riding, or a chick, you know, hey, that likes to ride and camp and do the kind of stuff that I'm doing that's in my age group. See, I'm one of them baby boomers between 45 and between 1945 and 65. I'm at the end of that group. The baby boomer group. This is the main highway right here. But I stay busy, man. I built me a, I like to work with wood and stuff, so I built me a woodworking shop behind my house. It used to be a storage shed, and I made it 10 times bigger and built the floor and walls and everything, and put a couple grand worth of equipment in there, and I built some tables, a desk. I've redid some furniture. I get out there and lose track of time, man. I love it. There's something to do. My passion's motorcycles, and I've got two. I've got the 2012 Goldwing and then the 2008 KLR with 2,154 miles on it. Amazing garage find KLR. Most of them that are this year model are beat up or wore out, or this one's like brand new, man. We'll go over to this side. But I'm always on Craigslist for looking for bikes, like the bikes from the 80s. I love the bikes from the 80s. The Honda CMs, the Honda, I'd like to have a Honda CX, a custom. Now, if you never know what that is, it's like a 500cc. It's a V-twin, but the engine's turned to where the V is this way, sideways, not like straight, you know, one behind the other. And cool bike, and the custom is really sweet, man. It's not a big bike, but it looks great. I wouldn't mind having an old Honda CM400, the custom. That's beautiful, man. I like the Suzuki GSs, like the 550s, the 750, the inline 4-cylinders. Nice bikes. There was a lot of them from that time. I'd like to have an old XR, what was it, XL? Honda XL 500 Thumper that was a dual sport, street legal. It was an XL, I think, 500, 1982. I believe, in that, and I'm going to keep going, 82 I think it was. That's the year I graduated high school. I'd like to have one of them. An 85, you know, maybe, but the Honda XL 500 Thumper, man, nice bike. I don't know if they're electric start, and they were a bear to kick over, so I think they had a compression release. I like to have one of them in good shape. You know, just something to mess with. And there's one on Craigslist that I saw, a Honda CM400T. The guy wanted $2 grand for it. I thought, man, it looked like brand spanking new, low mileage, garage kept, beautiful. 79 CM400T. And if you look it up on NADA Motorcycle Guide, it's worth about $1,860 in excellent condition, which this one is. Plus it had a windshield and some extras on it, so the guy was right on the mark at $2 grand. And I thought, I'll go buy it. But then I thought, you know, I really don't need 3 bikes right now, even though I'd love to have that, because that's like a classic 79, man. But I thought, I'll hold off. I can buy it 10 times over if I wanted to, but and yeah, I know you can't take it with you, but you never know when you might want something and you need something. And how many people don't have even $2 grand in their bank account? Hell, I got 20, but I've saved and I've worked the rest of my, you know, I've never had credit cards. I don't have credit cards. I don't like them, don't use them. I don't, you know, I don't spend money on stuff I really don't need. Nowadays I buy what I want because I can, but I don't spend money on just nothing, and I don't give it away. I'm still a member of the Broken Spoke Club with the Highway Patrol. You know, they take that out of my retirement check, but that's a cause that is worthy. But I'm always looking for bikes. Lately on Craigslist, the 80s, the stuff I really like, people want too much money for that stuff. Some of it's garbage and they want too much money for it. They're dreaming, man. And sometimes things aren't, you know, you can look up the value of it on NADA Motorcycle Guide or Kelly Blue Book, I don't know. I use the NADA NADA guide. And you go by that, but people often exaggerate on the condition. There's sentimental value, which doesn't mean jack to me if I'm buying it from you. I'm sympathizing with you on the sentimental value, okay, but there's not a value on it that I'm going to pay you for. So sometimes it's just what it's, you know, people are willing to buy, willing to pay for it. How bad you want to get rid of it? How bad you want to keep it? You know, whatever. But I'm always looking on there for the bikes because you never know. Oh, there's one on Craigslist. There's this. It's a scam. I mean, it's an obvious scam, but $1,604 for 2009 BMW, beautiful, gorgeous BMW 1200. It's R1200 something. It's not an adventure, but nice bike. And there's another one on there that's 2004 that's not in good shape. The guy wants $6,400 for it. The guy that wants $1,604 for it, any idiot would know it's a daggum scam. There's a phone number. You call the number, there's nobody there. You leave a message, you know, or something like that. And I was going to leave him a message and tell him he's a fucking idiot and stop trying to scam people, but anyway, watch out for that shit. There's scams on there. People will scam you, man. So watch out for that. It's common sense, actually. A bike worth about $8 grand. The guy's selling it for $1,604. What does he need $1,604 for? Jack Wang. Anyway. Most people aren't that stupid. Some are. They think, oh man, what a deal, I'm going to get that. Oh. And get this. I'm going to kill this one in a minute, but get this. I saw a V65 Magna, 1100 I think, and I thought, man, that's my dream bike, 1982 V65 Magna. Nice looking bike, $1,000. I thought, oh, that ain't right. But I just thought, well, you know, I'll just curiosity. I'll see what kind of scam they're running. So there wasn't a number. You had to leave a text. I don't text, but my girlfriend at the time, she had her phone, she texted, and I said, well, let me borrow it for a minute. And I texted, and, you know, what's the deal? Well, the bike, you send us the money, the bike's in an eBay warehouse, and when we get the money, we'll have it shipped to you. What's eBay got to do with Craigslist, for one thing? And another thing, you think I'm going to send you $1,000 and wait to see if a bike shows up? Are there people in the world that are that gullible? I wonder if she, and it turns out it was a woman. Her husband had died, this story, her husband had died, and her daughter wanted to move to Arizona or something from North Florida. I thought, yeah, right. So what I did is I contacted Craigslist, told them it was a scam. They looked into it and they said, yeah, it's an obvious scam. We're going to shut her down. I said, you know, it's amazing that people can post that kind of stuff. And anyway, but there you go. But I love riding, man, day, night. I'd rather ride during the day, but Sunday evening I just was bored sitting there and thought I'll just get out and ride a little bit. At night, it's kind of interesting because there's certain things you can see at night but you don't see during the day. You know, the lights and this and that and the other. You watch out for, when you're up here, you watch out for things like deer and stuff like that. There's always a chance of running into one. When I was a trooper, I worked a lot of different wrecks, you know, deer versus vehicle. I worked alligator versus vehicle. I worked one in Venice, Florida, camel versus a vehicle. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. It was Friday evening. I was on a DUI squad. 7 o'clock in the evenings when my shift started. It ended at 3 a.m. And I rarely got home at 3 a.m. But this is one of those squads, you get on, you're a trooper for about 10 years before you can get on it, but you get on this squad and you get away from all the daytime traffic in the big city because that's just paperwork going from one crash to the next. But it's interesting on the midnight shift, or not midnight, but DUI shift, because it's a federally funded unit. The cars they're loaded with the cameras and all the equipment, but all you do is DUIs. That's the deal with the federal government for the for the state of Florida. But anyway, my shift started at 7. I just checked in. The dispatcher said there's a vehicle versus camel in Venice, and I'm up in Sarasota, and I'm thinking, there's the first drunk. The next one's going to be a pink elephant. But I forgot, Venice is home of Ringling Barnum and Bailey's Brothers Circus, and that's where they keep the animals, by the airport there. Well, 2 camels got loose and got on US 41, and the guy hit one of them. Didn't hurt the camel. Camel fell over on the hood of his car, crushed the hood of his car, got up, and when I got there, there was a guy in a white pickup truck with the Barnum and Bailey Circus on the side with a big ring and a pole, and there was 2 camels standing in Albertson's parking lot. Albertson's grocery store parking lot. I'm thinking, holy crap, man. She wasn't kidding. Anyway, stuff like that. I worked one where a guy rear-ended a semi, or kind of hit the side of it, knocked the axle loose on the semi-trailer, and it was down in Perry, Florida, and there were 2 elephants on there. They were small elephants, and they had them out walking around, the elephants. I'm thinking, man, if this job isn't interesting enough. But anyway, I'm going to kill this one and ride a little bit and figure out a way to make videos not quite so boring. I don't know. To me, my life's not boring, but you need to bounce ideas off of someone else. Camping and riding and doing it by yourself, it gets boring. But you understand my situation, you know? So anyway, the coolest thing would be to find a chick, a good-looking chick that loves bikes and camping and is retired and to do all the stuff with, man. Talking about fun. Wow.